Hello and welcome back. Modding Skyrim in recent times can be pretty intimidating, especially for beginners or new players to the game. Often a mod list will contain hundreds if not thousands of different mods to download. That can make it very difficult to wade through and find the ones that you want. So in this video, I wanted to showcase an easy and simple way to visually transform vanilla Skyrim into something more modern using just 7 mods. This list has also very few requirements and will not need many patches if any at all. Great for beginners to the game or a simple user-friendly mod list. First on the list is the mod called 2020X. This mod is a massive texture overhaul that is going to retexture pretty much everything in the game, ranging from landscape to architecture and dungeons, as well as several items throughout the world. The reason I've chosen this texture overhaul over others is because it looks the best on its own without any additional mods required, in my opinion. The textures also feature the parallax effect, which make them appear more 3D and realistic. Now the main mod includes 8K resolution files, which make them very large and may use a fair amount of video RAM. However, there is also a downscaled version of the mod that offers 4K, 2K or even 1K resolutions for a more performance-friendly option that will also be linked down below. Overall, it's a fantastic mod that alone will completely change the look of your Skyrim into the modern era of gaming. Next, let's take a look at the trees. Skyrim is covered in many different forests, so it's important to get a decent tree mod installed, and for this list, we will be using the Traverse the Ulvenwald Tree Overhaul 3.1. In my opinion, this is the best all-in-one tree overhaul for Skyrim. It offers a very diverse range of tree models, adding over 300 unique trees to the game that make each forest around Skyrim feel varied and make the world come alive. You will rarely see the same tree twice, creating a beautiful, realistic landscape ready for you to explore. On top of that, this mod also increases the density of each forest by adding a few well-placed trees. Regarding performance, you may notice a slight drop in frames, but nothing too impactful. However, there is a vanilla replacer option that will only replace the vanilla wild trees for better performance if you want. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy this gorgeous tree overhaul. Moving on to grass, we will be keeping with the theme of diversity with the grass mod called Folkvangr. The main reason we will be using this mod is the wild and varied appearance of the grass models. Some grass mods can be very groomed and repetitive, but I much prefer the overgrown and diverse style that this mod offers. The ground will be littered not only with grass, but ferns, flowers, pine cones and more, creating a vibrant forest floor for you to enjoy. Each hold in Skyrim will also feature a unique type of grass that is also lore friendly. For example, the Whiterun Plains feature long bladed tussock grass, whereas the pine forest has more ferns and pine cones. This adds even more diversity and transition as you travel across the landscape. Overall, this is a stunning all-in-one grass and landscape overhaul for Skyrim that will bring your game to life. Next is a water mod called Simplicity of Sea. Skyrim has many lakes and rivers, so getting a good water mod is important for the aesthetic of the whole landscape. Simplicity of Sea offers both great visuals, making the water a lot more clear and realistic, but it's also extremely lightweight and compatible, making 0 world space edits. This means it does not require many patches, if any at all, and is a great option for beginner and experienced modders alike. The vanilla water can look very murky and flat in Skyrim compared to the new modded water, which appears a lot better visually. A great easy to use water mod for everyone. Now for some lighting, and for this we will be using the mod simply called Lux. This mod is one of the premier lighting overhauls and will rework the interior lighting for your game. A good lighting mod will completely change your playing experience, and here you can see the drastic transition between the dull vanilla setting and the newly modded Lux overhaul. This mod will make the interiors a wee bit darker, but offers a much more realistic and dramatic feel to your gameplay. Without a doubt, this mod is stunning and one of the best lighting mods you can find. Now you will see that Lux has one installation requirement called LuxVR. I just want to clarify, you don't actually need the LuxVR mod itself, you just need to install the optional LuxVR resources. When you do install Lux, there is also a comprehensive foam mod that will detect any patches you may require depending on your current mod list. Overall, you can't go wrong with the fantastic Lux lighting mod. And the last two mods from this list are the pairing of the PI-CHO ENB and the Azurite weather mod. Together these two mods will bring a beautiful aesthetic to Skyrim and give the game a much more modern look in terms of graphics. I do want to add that the ENB is optional since any ENB can be very taxing on your PC performance. So if you do not want to use an ENB, you can still just use the Azurite weather mod as a standalone. If you have never used an ENB before, I also have an ENB guide video that will be linked down below and goes through the installation process. Specifically for PI-CHO ENB, I have some small adjustment tips. By default, black bars will be visible on the top and bottom of your screen to give a cinematic feel. If you want to disable them, just go to the in-game ENB interface by pressing Shift Enter. Then navigate to the ENB effect post-pass drop-down menu from the middle tab. Scroll down until you see the letterbox option and then uncheck the box to disable the black bars, or enable them if you want them back on. Also, always make sure to save the configuration after making any adjustments. Another great feature from the ENB menu is the depth of field, which creates the blur effect in the distance. To adjust this, go to the ENB depth of field drop-down menu and find the far blur curve option. A larger number will reduce the amount of blur and a smaller number will increase the amount of blur or make it closer to your character. This is a great way for hiding the draw distance or texture pop-in for your game. Alternatively, it's also a great way to focus in on your character for a few beautiful screenshots. Overall, the combination of these two mods create a stunning visual experience for Skyrim without too many requirements and are relatively easy to install. Lastly, I wanted to include a little bonus mod that is optional called aMidianBorn Book of Silence. This classic mod will retexture many of the vanilla armors, weapons and enemies with beautiful high quality replacements. A fantastic mod that covers a lot of content from the original game and gives it that little attention to detail that was missing. It can also be a little hard to find because of the obscure name. Otherwise, that's it for this video. Just a nice and simple visual overhaul for Skyrim using only 7 mods. You can of course use this list as a base to build from or simply just pick and choose what you like. It's a great way to start for beginners and has very few requirements or patches necessary. But as always, thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again next time. Cheers.